Hi, I'm Riley Meyer.
Alex Stovall.
Tasha Torkelson.
Sean Morney.
Millennials, a definition through music.
You may be wondering what the Millennial Generation is. Well, Webster Dictionary defines millennial as a period of 1,000 years, and it defines generation as a group of people living during the same time period, and in our case, it would be a group of people living between or born in 1980 to 2000.
A point made in Generation Y is that we are one that is heavily invested in companies like Apple. It is one of the largest tech corporations in the world, and millions of people invest in its products like iPads, iPods, MacBooks, and iTunes. And use for its iTunes services came into power during our generation for its need of products, and we had an interest and caused it to flourish. We are also a much more diverse generation than previous ones because we've been exposed to much more cultures and differences between various races. Immigration in this country began in the early 20th century, but our current populations are extremely mixed to the point where the whites have become the minority. According to a portrait of Generation X, census data has shown that the current demographics in our nation are 61% Caucasian, whereas they used to be 70%, 14% African American, where they used to be 11%, and 19% Hispanic, where they used to be 13%. We all know how difficult it is to find jobs right now, and that we would consider a decent and high-paying, and it is becoming common knowledge that a higher-paying education is needed to compete for those kinds of occupations. According to a source out of the Millennials Generation, 4 out of 5 graduate students and 25 go on to college to attain a degree.
Moving on to what the things that millennials are not, our negative definition. Millennials are not the typical traditional family that has been in previous generations. Their parents are usually divorced. They aren't as conservative or religious as previous generations. They usually, as I said, have divorced parents, and they're usually more liberal, less religious, as I said, and they also are not uneducated or unwilling to work, as they actually have 25% graduation rate from a higher education, and also 50% of us are in the workforce.
As for the stipulative definition, we are a generation where we depend on technology, social media, and others. We use technology and social media to stay connected with the outside world, and without it, we'd feel lost. We depend on others to help us achieve goals and achieve things along our way, and we use them to help us along our journey. We are impatient people that live in a fast-paced world, and we want things now. We like to form bonds with friends and family, and we enjoy company much, much more than being alone. We definitely like to dream big and reach for the sky, and even if we don't always succeed or reach our goals, that is fine with us. As for our first music video that relates to millennials is All Summer Long by Kid Rock. It was released in 2008 and is the third single on his hit album Rock and Roll Jesus. All Summer Long was a #1 hit over 8 countries and crossed over to the country music radio and gave Kid Rock his first country hit. All Summer Long relates to the early millennials because it talks about Kid Rock's life as a teen during the year 1989. And now let's take a look at the video.
Splashing through the sandbar, talking by the campfire. It's the simple things in life, like when and where we didn't have.
As for the logos is what we know or want to know from watching the video. Visually, we know that summertime is a time for flings. Kid Rock himself shows himself with a girl, and they being flirtatious, rolling around in the sand, and kissing in the backseat of a car. It goes with millennials, as in they like to spend more time with company and then being alone, even if it is for summertime. Also, we see that the girl is dressed in a little bikini and stripping and dancing seductively. This shows us that millennials are freely and free-spirited and can do what they want. With Generation X, you would see none of this, but with Generation Y, they are the time where they show how they feel and everything with the way they dress and the way they act. As for the audio, which we know from watching the video, is that it goes hand in hand with Leonard Skinner's song Sweet Home Alabama. They both have the same piano and guitar to create the upbeat tune, and they also have the guitar solo at the same time. This tells us that Kid Rock looked up to Leonard Skinner during his time, just as millennials now look up and listen to Kid Rock songs all summer long. Now, with the text, what we know from watching the video is that teens like to look for a good time, just as millennials like to have fun. Kid Rock himself starts out singing Caught Somewhere Between a Boy and a Man, which tells you that they're caught in that time where they don't want to grow up quite yet and have the responsibilities, but yet they're getting to that age. Also, it talks about that teens just like to have fun and be with friends and socialize, and they look for risk and excitement to take. Kid Rock sings at one point, "Can't wait for night to come," which goes with the saying, nothing good happens after midnight, and they're just looking for risk and excitement to take. Now moving on with pathos, which is what we feel or want to feel from watching the video. Visually, we feel that teenagers live a carefree life and that they are do what they want. As we watch through the video, teens are just along the river all day and with friends instead of working and everything, and they're socializing and having fun, and they're not like being stuck in school or stuck with work. And we see kids sitting around a campfire drinking and having a good time and dancing and laughing, and it just goes with millennials as they like to spend their time with friends and socializing. As for the audio, we want to feel happy and cheerful. This song, as you listen to it, just has the beat and tune that gets you upbeat and makes you want to bob your head to it and strum your air guitar to the solo. As for the text, Kid Rock makes you feel young, wild, and free, as if you can do whatever you want and do your own thing. He sings trying different things, smoking funny things, as in kids, millennials, like to try new things and be the first to experience it and say no to any offers, and they don't like to pass up on things that they can do. They look for excitement. He also sings sipping whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow, which goes with, as in, they live in the moment, and they like to live on the edge, and they don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow or the consequences that they're going to take. As for ethos, which is what we respect or want to respect, for visually, we want to respect summer as a whole, that from watching it, we see them on the boat partying and swimming in the water and fishing and everything, and that's just like the value of summer and how much fun friends have together. Like, who would rather be in work or school when you can just have the summertime? And we see that they are living for the moment and hanging out with their friends and enjoying every little thing and not taking anything for granted. I know we can look back on our summers and share all the memories that we have, and I know millennials themselves enjoy making memories with their friends. As for the audio, it goes with Sweet Home Alabama, like I said earlier, and Leonard Skinner, and we can respect that, the role he had and what he made, the impact on Kid Rock himself, just as millennials have that person that they like to look up to, and they enjoy that company and friends, and they rely and cling to people that they are similar to and of their same age. And with the text, we want to value summertime and what it has on millennials and teens and everyone. And just like the saying, what he sings throughout the song, splashing through the sandbar, talking by the campfire, is just the little things, just like spending the day out in the sun and taking in the sun rays and everything, and by the campfire at night making a s'more and everything, just with your friends and being with the ones you love and everything, which goes with millennials living in the moment and the impact it has on us.
So our second video will be We Are Young by Fun. All right, and moving on, we will begin with the logos and what they want you to know. For the visual aspect of this video, I decided to talk about how youth is a crazy eventful experience and how the video displays this. Millennials are a generation that are, less carefree and less traditional than other generations. So, in this video, it's kind of carefree and spontaneous. The woman who starts off the whole video, she's getting a mysterious text message, and it's very short, and the way she replies, it seems to start off all the crazy events that take place in the venue, and it's kind of akin to a flash mob type event. And the events that we see in the video are people being chased, running after each other, breaking glasses, and all kinds of crazy things like that. And this kind of plays into the whole spontaneous, crazy atmosphere type of thing. And even the band members are seen having a really good time and really getting into their music, so that kind of plays into it as well. Moving on to the audio, they want you to know that pop music is popular, especially with our generation, and really took off between the 80s and the 2000s, and this song is obviously a pop song. It has things that are very typical of pop songs, like the theme that kind of borrows from a jazz genre. The instruments that are used are very typical of a pop song. The structure of the song, it follows a verse-chorus structure. Doesn't use a very long intro or outro, and there's no bridge included in the video. And these are all things that are really common with pop music. There's a catchy hook as well, which is one of the main aspects of a pop song. And in this song, it is the line, "Tonight we are young." It's repeated throughout the video. And this is one of those things that's also really big with pop songs. And I believe the band chose to go with this genre because they know that pop music is very popular with our generation. And moving on to the text in this video, I decided to go with the idea that everybody has flaws, but they can work through them. And this is especially true with millennials. No generation is perfect, and especially not our generation. We all have issues, family issues, things with finances and the economy. But millennials are a generation that are very optimistic and able to get through these issues, and the lyrics of the song reflect this. There are many lines like "holes in my apologies" that reference those issues that we all have. There are many more lines like, "but our friends are back, so let's raise a toast," and "I'll carry you home tonight," or "if you carry me home tonight," that reference how we help each other get through these problems. And moving on to the pathos, or what they want you to feel. For the visual aspect, I went with the excitement of a party or the excitement of youth. This is shown in the video with all those crazy events, same as before. Millennials are a very carefree and fun generation, and this is shown with many things like the events, some of the specific things like a person wrapped up in Christmas lights running through the bar in the video, or a person breaking a glass with a metal beam, things like that. And the whole video is slowed down to a speed that kind of emphasizes all of these events happening, so it allows you to take them all in and kind of think about them more rather than if the video would be sped up. Moving on to the audio, the song is very upbeat, motivated, and happy. Just like millennials are upbeat and happy, so is this song, and it kind of reflects that. The tone might not be very fast, but the rhythm is, even, and it's upbeat and driving, and it keeps moving. And that kind of reflects this upbeat, motivated attitude. The speed of the piano being played changes to reflect this, and when it moves from verses into choruses, there are rises in the volume and the speed of the song that kind of reflect this upbeat, motivated thing as well. And for the text in this video, to reflect this, millennials are far more connected to their families and friends, and this is shown in this video with lines like, as I said before, "our friends are here, so let's raise a toast," or "I'll carry you home," and "if you carry me home." And these kind of reflect how millennials work together and are really connected with friends and family and people from all over the world. And moving on to our final slide is ethos, or what they want you to respect. And for the visual aspect, I went with living in the moment. As we've stated before in this video and in the others, millennials are a very carefree generation. They really like to have fun and do things that are important to them, and this is shown in the visuals of the video. All of the crazy things going on. There's explosions and debris falling, all kinds of things like this. It kind of shows just things happening in the moment. And also with the band members, how they're just really getting to the music, jumping around, having fun with the song. Moving on to the audio, they want you to respect the song itself or the genre. As I already said before, pop music is very popular with millennials, and this is a very well-written pop song in my opinion. It flows smoothly, very well put together. The lyrics are very catchy, and they connect with the listeners. So, moving on to the text, they want to emphasize here friendships and togetherness. Some of the lyrics stated, the song is really a story. It begins with the singer talking about how he's having all these issues, his friend's getting higher than the Empire State, and how he has to explain that, the problems he's having in his relationships and the scars he's caused and things like that. But then he moves on and talks about how it's all right because his friends show up, so he's having fun, and then even if things don't turn out all right at the end of the night, he can still carry them home or they can carry him home. And that's how that kind of reflects this togetherness and unitedness that millennials have.
So the last video that we chose to represent those of Generation Y is centered around the song Round Here, which was recorded by Florida Georgia Line and released in June of 2013. As you watch the video, focus on the main theme and think about how it represents our generation.
A hammer and a nail, stacking them bales. I'm dog tired by the 5 o'clock hour, but I'm ready to raise some hell. And Jesse's getting ready, I'm gassing up the Chevy.
Okay, now that you've seen the video, you may be wondering, how does this relate to the millennial generation? And with that question in mind, listen as I tell you why I think it relates to our generation. So, first off, millennials are generally hard workers. Stats say that half are actively in the working force, and that number is rising. Not only that, but, well, the saying work hard, play hard, and that fits into it. So they not only work hard, but they like to have fun and hang out with friends, so social people. And not only through social networking like Facebook or Twitter, they like to get together in person too. So right along with that, it shows like how they like to have close relationships with others, as shown in the video, through flirting and eventually ending up together and just hanging out with friends. So to answer how exactly they show this through the video, I'll go through and explain the content more closely. So the first strategy that I'll use is logos, which is what they want you to know through the video. And what I think they want you to know throughout just using the video itself is what the country life is and what it's like to live. So basically, as I said, work hard, play hard, and they show that through the video with the two guys working hard, stacking bales of hay, hauling bricks, and then going out and just having fun afterwards. So it also shows the country life through nice trucks like Chevys and Fords, and two American muscle cars, the Camaros, that the girls are driving. And it's also fun as shown through them hanging out with friends and jumping around and just playing around. And the audio complements that through the fast tempo of the song and how it changes from fast to slow throughout, from going to the verses to the chorus. And even in the chorus, it'll speed up and he starts to belt out the notes and just dance around and have fun. And it gets really loud and intense. So it's like he's excited about living. And last, the lyrics give an basic overall description of what they want you to know. about how the country life is hard but it's fun by saying he's dog-tired by the 5 o'clock hour and mud on the grips, speaking about how he's been working hard all day and that his gloves are dirty from that tough work. But it's also a lot of fun. The fun part is all part of the chorus where he talks about dancing around in the dust, having fun, drinking alcohol, just being with friends. Next, they try to get you to like the video through using your emotions or getting you to feel something. So in the video, it's about getting you excited and pumped up by using attractive guys and attractive girls and nice cars like the Chevys, Fords, and Camaros, kind of making you feel like you're tough and all that. And another way to get you excited is by showing all the other people in the video excited, like that group of millennials dancing behind them as they play their music, as they jam out on guitar, dancing around, spinning. And those combined with the high quality of the video makes it exciting to watch. Alongside that, there's the audio, which is also about getting the viewer excited. So the song has a quick beat, and the audio goes from quick to or slow to quick. And not only that, there's loud guitars playing and guitar solos throughout the song every once in a while. And the lead singer is usually pretty pumped up about it as he dances around, belts out notes as loud as he can. Just looks like he's having, or sounds like he's having a load of fun. And when he hits the chorus, it's just he goes all out and sings as loud as he can, so it kind of gives it an edge of excitement. And the lyrics support that same claim of being exciting. When he says, "I'm ready to raise some hell," which he says after he gets off work, he's ready to go out and just have some fun. But he's not just ready to have any fun, he's ready to go out and have mischievous fun. So the best way to have fun is with others, and that's shown when he goes and just goes out with all his friends, and he talks about going out with his friends, partying in the dust, listening to loud music. And so the lyrics go, dance in the dust, turn the radio up. So he's talking about going out, just cranking up the music, hanging out with his friends, dancing around. So loud music, dancing, it's all exciting. And last, ethos, which is what they want you to respect about the video or the content of the video. So in the video, they're trying to get you to respect the two band members and what they do. So they do that by showing them driving nice cars, hanging out, getting all the pretty girls, and they seem pretty likable, which is pretty respectable, and they work hard. So there's also, let's disregard the video and focus on just the audio. So they want you, I think, to respect country music itself, and they go about this through guitar acoustics, which has the country sound to it, and it's also very high quality. And the lead singer also sports a thick country accent, which kind of makes you think country as soon as you hear it. Also, there is the fact that they've already had a couple popular songs to their name, and so as soon as you hear their name, you're like, oh, they're a popular country band. And so their sound is very distinct, and usually it's pretty easy to hear if you've heard them before. And deep down at the basis of the song are the lyrics, which are the foundation. And what they're trying to get you to respect through the lyrics is just having fun. They want you to know how the country life is, how fun it is, do what they say. At the start of the song, the leader starts by talking about working hard, and then he goes into how it's all just a bunch of fun, where he goes out with his friends, hangs out, has fun, drinks alcohol by saying, "That Fireball whiskey whispers temptation in my ear." So he's talking about how it's just about having fun and just living your life up and respecting that, because you need something fun in your life. And he talks about country on the boombox and that country boy charm. So it's all focused around the country life and how fun it is and respecting that. So he supports all of these claims at the end by saying that's how we do it around here. Basically saying that this is the country life and this is how we do it. We have fun.
Lastly, we will be looking at the band The One Direction and their song The Best Song Ever, which was recorded in July 2013. There's a wide debate about the song because it was said to be a ripoff of the song in 1971 of Baba O'Reilly, and that was simply because the synth and the piano were very similar. But it wasn't. It was just a coincidence, and the inspiration for the music video and the music came purely from nights like the band is describing in the video. And we will take a look at the video now. Okay, after seeing the actions and wild behavior of the band and their influence, what does the audience want to know or already know? The band One Direction goes into a Hollywood studio agency who wants to throw around ideas as to what they want them to do for their music video and for advertising. The agency is ecstatic about their ideas, but the audience can see that One Direction is not liking the strange pictures and dance suggestions that the Hollywood agency is giving them. The band isn't being given any opportunity to speak up or give any input or suggestions, and it appears that they may be stuck in a horrible costume and prance around. And, they're stuck in a horrible situation until they get up and they dance around and they take control of the room. The spirit of the band beats down the big man called Hollywood and exhilarates the rest of the audience who look like they have been oppressed. The music fuels the words with its keyed up beat and fast-paced rhythm. The audience listening to the music may feel empowered and motivated to dance, or at least to sing along to the harmonious beat. The rhythm is fast, but the words themselves aren't, so the audience can sing along if they wish to. The words of the song tell the audience if they walk with confidence and connect with a certain influence, that life can be filled with more fun and others will follow you. The audience feels a need to act a certain way they need a certain way to connect with the song in order to understand it. The audience may get the feeling of being invincible because the band isn't suppressed by the men who are older than them and who are pushing them into ridiculous outfits and directing their movements. The band says no in a very powerful way and does what they want while destroying the property, and examples of the adults which become an example of that they are youthful but not children who are in need of guidance. They are independent and have a voice and opinion. The song's music remains rapid and enthusiastic with its consistent instruments aside from the slower melody when the band members are vowing to remember dancing all night long. The words make the audience feel like they need to have days or nights that are worth remembering with friends and flings that won't be forgotten. Respect is not easily earned, but the audience respects the authority and confidence of the band and of those who possess it and make use of it. The agency, the respect, the willingness to stand up to grown-ups or those who may be above the pyramid and express their ideas and thoughts is to be expected. Influence is also an important trait as well as the ability to have fun and enjoy any moment without taking it for granted. The grown-ups in the video eventually loosen up to the band's upbeat music and dancing, and they start agreeing and rethinking their suggestions. Getting a grown-up to change their point of view or their thoughts towards someone who is younger is to be expected because it's sort of a great feat, because grown-ups are usually above the youth. They're supposed to be directing the youth, but youth are rebellious. And for a grown-up to acknowledge that the youth may have a point is very influential. The song is not strange in its beat, but in the beginning it has similar rhythm to a song, Baba O'Reilly, like I had mentioned earlier. The text is telling the audience that the way a person can walk or bring up other people is to be respected, and it's not it's leadership, and not a lot of people can possess that kind of trait. And so leadership, being willing to stand up, having influence, and being very spirited and not taking things for granted is what the band is ultimately portraying in this video.
In conclusion of all our songs and how they relate to millennials is All Summer Long overall relates to millennials in the way that they like to spend time with friends and family and live in the moment and do things and just enjoy the little things. As for We Are Young, it talks about the fun and excitement millennials spend and how they live in a fast-paced and upbeat world. For Around Here, it talks about you have to work for what you want and work hard to get it, and also afterwards to enjoy the fun times you have and socialize with friends. And for The Best Song Ever, it goes with that millennials want to be influential and confident and not have that authority over them to rule.